Catch Girl Talks every day. Follow socials, here's the way.
GurlTauX, every platform come to play. Catch our vibe, don't delay.
Facebook, YouTube streams, scrolling through your daily memes. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. Keeping it real, it's what we do. So tune in now and join our crew. Life's moving through the screen, click subscribe, don't be neat. Upbeat chatter, it's our routine. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GurlTauX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. Update stories, laugh and cry. It's Girl Talk, so don't question why. It's the show that you'll adore. Come back daily to get some more. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GurlTauX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GurlTauX, log in now, watch our show. Likes and comments, let them flow. Every day we're on our way. Girl Talk Show is here to stay. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about.
Well, hello. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well today. We have an interesting topic that we're going to talk about today. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You can't hear anybody else because we're all on mute.
Well, I did that on purpose because I was talking. No, I'm just kidding.
I see.
Well, it just sounded weird in my headphones, like I couldn't even hear that I can hear. Okay. Anyway, we're doing an interesting topic today, and it was actually one of our grandsons who asked to do this topic, so it's not like we have decided to put them on the spot or anything. They asked to talk about this topic because it is a polarizing topic in the country. So we're going to talk about it. And that is what our grandsons think about abortion. We're going to have an honest conversation with Julius and Charles. And it would be nice to know and hear what other teenage boys have to think, or men or boys, because this is more of a man show today. It's Boy Talks, because we are going to talk about it based on a male's perspective. And my perspective as a boy mom and a boy grandma. I do have granddaughters too, but that's always the topic, in my opinion. That's always the angle of the conversation, is always about women and how women feel about it and what women think. So I'm just going to say that I have a difference of opinion because I'm a boy mom and I have several boy grandsons. So that's what we're going to talk about. So the different things that people talk about is my body, my choice, and whether that is relevant or not, because is the baby's body, their choice? And can we stop fiddling, please? Maybe sit still for 30 seconds. Anyway, that is going to be what we're going to talk about. So welcome back to GurlTauX. As you know, I'm Tori. I'm the host of GurlTauX, and we are going to have this special episode of Boy Talks today. I am sitting down here with my grandsons, Julius and Charles, and say hi, boys.
Hi. Hello.
And my husband, of course, and he is a boy dad of 2 boys.
Yep.
And a bonus dad to 3 boys.
3 more.
Really, our youngest one is fully considers him dad. So that's who we're going to talk to today. It may not be relevant to you in the aspect of what you think you have in your own house, your own family. They might have a different perspective, but this is not coming from a Republican side or a Democrat side. This, in my opinion, is really not politics. This is about life. My perspective is probably much more on the Christian perspective because I do live my life that way. So we're going to keep in mind other people's perspective, but maybe have a debate about the whys and the why nots. The what's and the what nots, that kind of thing. All right, so to start with, I just want to say, as a boy mom and now a boy grandma several times over, this topic to me hits close to home because as we're going to hear it straight from grandboys.
You gotta love cats.
And cats, boy cats too. We're going to hear from their perspective, but also I'm sure they might have had this conversation even with their parents, and we'll see what they have to say about that. And we are also going to explore the history with Margaret Sanger and look at the hard numbers and answer your Dear Margaret questions. Let's have an honest, loving conversation, and let's keep it decent and so that anyone out there is not super offended. They'll probably be offended more by me than anyone else, but that's okay. Okay, so here we go. As a boy mom who raised sons and now as a grandma to Julius, Charles, Nathaniel.
Who is that?
I only have 3 grandsons.
3 grandsons.
The rest are granddaughters. But I also have 3 sons and 2 bonus sons. So altogether, that's a little bit more than 2. So I have a little bit of an opinion on it, and I carry a heavy heart on this topic because as your boys are growing up and they start facing relationships and dating and then potentially to marriage and so on, and the potential. I have a friend that I had when my boys were in school, and a really close friend of my youngest son's. His brother had a child at a very young age, and she helped, of course, with the grandson, and it was a grandson. And her son is the one who took his baby. Now, he was extremely young, like 16 or something like that. It can happen at 12. Mm-hmm. It can happen at 13. It can happen at 14. It can literally happen at the age the boys are now. So it's a topic of conversation that should be had. But I also think that, the known statement of it, my body, my choice, and that she shouldn't have to do anything she doesn't want to do is unfair to the baby in the womb, because the baby in the womb has no say. And why are they being subjected to not being allowed to be alive? Because it's, in my perspective, many times it's over inconvenience, and finances. Those can be overcome.
You can overcome some of those pieces that you're mentioning, and it's a matter of going out there and not just going with the inconvenience that, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do that. Well,
yeah, I can't go to college. I want to play games. I want to play games on my Xbox, and I don't want to, I mean, there's one known way of not having to do any of those inconvenience things, and that is abstinence. That's waiting till you're married. And the average child who is born to married parents that stick together have a much better outcome with their future. That's a known factor. So, with that, what is your opinion on abortion, or how do you feel about it? Or are you neutral, or you don't really have an opinion, or you don't know much about it? Julius.
Yeah, Charles. I know a little bit about it, but I think it's stupid because they can grow. I don't really
Are you
know.
meaning like abortion's stupid, or okay? So is that because you're like, well, they can grow to be
Good.
they can turn into something?
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Like a Marine who eats crayons.
Like a Marine who eats crayons. That was pretty good. Charles, what is your opinion on it?
I feel like it's not good. I've studied this in school. I had to study this in school for debate.
Okay, you did this on debate in school. So, what did you come up with when you did your debate? That's, by the way, this is Charles who wanted to have this topic conversation.
I totally agree that it should be illegal.
you need to talk into the mic a little more. It's having a hard time hearing you.
I said it should totally be illegal.
Okay.
'Cause, if the woman, it's their body, it's also the man and the kid.
Right, he had some say in it.
Turn the slider up.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see if that's better.
Okay, so you're saying because it's not just hers. It took both of them to create, correct? Mm-hmm. So you're saying that, there should be some say both directions. Okay.
And how would you feel if, because you have a girlfriend, right? What's your girlfriend's name?
Emma, she's in the chat right now.
Say hi.
Hi, Emma.
What did she say in the chat? Did she say a
said,
comment?
That's my man's.
That's my man's.
I told you I was watching, and yeah, Juju's opinion is, oh no, hi, is what she just typed.
Let's just give a small scenario here. If for some god awful reason, which they are not doing that kind of behavior yet, but if that were to happen and she just told you without your feelings in account, I'm getting rid of it. And in that manner, saying it like that, how would that make you feel? I'm going to throw a couple things out there just by that right there. Just saying right alone, a woman that tells a man, I'm getting rid of it, like it's garbage. It's a person. It's a human being. It's not trash. You don't take it out in the garbage for the evening. It's actually something that has life. Mm-hmm. It has a heartbeat. It has feelings. And when I say feelings, like it has nerve endings. It can feel the pain when they do the abortion, and anyone who doesn't know how abortion's done, look that up. That'll scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is your opinion, Dad, boy dad and boy grandpa?
My opinion on this is really, you should switch that to camera 2 also while you're at it, but or yeah, 3. There you go. It's not one person's decision. It's about, the fact that it did not take just one person to create a child. It doesn't take just one person to make decisions of what's the best interest for the child going forward. You know, you got to remember you're on mute when you do that.
In my opinion, it also goes into account with even disciplining and making decisions with the
whole
kids.
Thing.
It should be both the parents that are involved in that from conception through graduation.
Right. I mean,
and beyond.
You have to raise the child. You have to, make sure that the child is taken care of, given food, given clothes, given an education. There's a lot involved, and it's not. There are a lot of single parents. There's a lot of single parents out there. All right, they make it work. But to sit there and just arbitrarily make a decision without giving the other individual who helped create the child some sort of input, I think is not the way to go. You need to be able to have multiple. You need to be able to have conversations about it. It's not a split decision either. It's something that you need to think about what is best for the child. There are other alternatives. There are adoption. There are people out there who are not able to have children and are looking for a child. There are possibilities out there
There are other options
that people need to take into account.
Well, and as a boy mom who raised sons and a grandma of 3 grandsons and several granddaughters, I do carry a heavy heart on this issue. These boys are growing into young men who will one day face relationships and responsibilities and becoming fathers and tough choices. And, even sometimes divorce happens, separations happen, single parenthood happens. Mothers and fathers don't always stay perfectly together, but we have to find a way to keep the children important and at the center of things. We had a real talk about this discussion several times, Steve and I have, and now these kids are starting to think about it because that means they're becoming young men and they're starting to move into becoming young men. So they think about that from their own perspective of what a teenage boy's viewpoint is and how abortion can affect how they feel about certain things. And having zero say or it being my body, my choice, but the baby has separate DNA. It has its own blood. It can, and then you hear this argument all the time. I don't know if any of you have heard the argument, but the argument that, well, they should be allowed to abort until they're viable. And what they mean by viable is they can live on their own. When do you think a child born can live on their own and take care of themselves? Is it birth? When they come out of the womb and they now can, they take their first breath. Oh, now you're on your own. Good luck.
Right. That does. I mean, take care of themselves.
So when is viable? 50?
Yeah. Right. What is viable? The true definition. Okay. Just because they've been born, they're able to breathe. They're able to make sounds. They can start doing stuff. Does that mean
they can breathe on their own? That is an auditory response in your body.
Yeah, autonomic.
They can poop on their own because poop will just come out when it needs to come out. But will they feed themselves on their own? Will they burp themselves on their own? Will they change themselves on their own? Will they get dressed on their own? Do they get up and go get a job on their own? And that makes sense. So the reality is when you say it like that, when they're viable, when they can live on their own, Well, you can't take them home from the hospital and put them in a drawer and say, here's your food, here's your water, good luck.
Right.
They're not a
It's
puppy
not gonna
either.
work.
You can't put
Yeah.
them in a kennel and hand them some food and water. I mean, even a puppy has to be taken out. A puppy has to be given a certain amount of food and water.
And a puppy needs to be taught what is right and what is wrong, where to go potty, where not to go potty, when is it time
And
to
if
eat.
you give them all the food, they just eat it all and it's all
Yeah,
gone.
so you have to sit there and take all these different pieces into account and realize that just because the child is born, I mean, the definition of viable, if you really go
pretty
into
broad.
it's pretty broad. Someone able to take care of themselves. I mean, I know people who graduated from high school who cannot take care of themselves.
There's days I can't take care of myself. What did I say this morning to you? What would I do without you? What was your response?
Probably not eat, probably starve.
Yeah, you said starve.
So, I mean, there's all kinds of things where it's like, people need to realize that we have lots of opinions out there, and we're here really because, again, Charles, you did this in debate. You had to go through there and you had to do some research, I'm sure, in order to do that. What was some of the stuff that you found when you did research that you really were surprised about when it came to abortion? What were some of those things? And make sure you're in the
Talk into the mic.
You had them on mute.
Oh,
Wow.
well, that's because you guys fiddle.
That's not even true.
Okay, so start again.
I found out it's illegal in certain states because of Trump, and it's also he's giving certain
Trump
states-
did not do anything.
It's not.
I just want to clarify
Nope,
that.
nope.
Trump did absolutely nothing. It was the Supreme Court.
This all
and
has
Trump
to do.
does not
yeah.
oversee the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, if something is brought to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court goes over and determines what is constitutionally the law. And many people misunderstand regarding this as if it's a constitutional right to murder your baby.
It's not. There's nothing in the actual Constitution that says one way or another. It's not actually in there. There are laws on the books regarding murder and stuff like that, but there are not laws on the books about abortion on its own.
Well, what did you say about the murder issue when we were talking about this the other day, Julius?
It should.
You need to talk into the mic.
Sorry. It should be illegal because if a man were to kill a woman that was pregnant, it would count as double murder. But
Yeah, double homicide, double
Yeah.
murder,
Yeah,
same thing.
right.
murder. He would get charged with 2 homicides. But if somebody aborts a child, it doesn't count as anything.
Right, and I personally think that they should be charged with murder, in my opinion. But Margaret Sanger, she was the founder of, and the organizer, and that started Planned Parenthood, and that was the driving force for eugenics and ideology. And she wanted to control population, so she said we need to do something to get rid of the undesirable. Referred to certain groups as human weeds. And that is something we will talk about here in a second. So there's a recent case that's going around on YouTube. It's going around on social media. And it is a popular TikTokers or YouTubers. I'm not sure what they are. I don't remember their name. I'm not going to mention them because I don't think they deserve the right to get a mention. But they did a video on becoming pregnant and the whole stick and everything. Oh, and she immediately showed that she wasn't wanting to have a baby anyway.
She was
'cause
not.
upset
She was
about
not
it to
happy
begin.
about it.
So
by
it wasn't
by
like
the
she was
appearance.
super excited
Right.
that, oh, I'm going to have a baby. But then they did a video showing that they learned that, and I totally disagree with it. So if you've seen any of the videos on this, I think they're full of shit. I think they're fake anyway, because they were reading the lab results that were sent to them through their chart or whatever, and they were supposedly reading their lab results, and it was showing the chromosomes and showing possibility of Down syndrome. And I know from all the years I've been in the medical field and know people that are in the medical field, know nurses and doctors and everyone else, no matter what your news is, if it is negative, they do not send it to you in an email.
Yeah, they're not just going to send it to you in a message.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're not going to
They're
get...
going to tell you, we need you to come into the office, and they're going to sit down with you and tell you what the results are, and then tell you what the options are. They're going to tell you how this is not conclusive. There's other testing needs to be done. XXXXX.
Right.
And they just decided and did another video shortly thereafter that they made the decision that they were going to terminate because they didn't want a baby with Down syndrome.
Right.
And of course, they've been getting a lot of backlash, because the other part of that was that they spent thousands of dollars to save their dog who had cancer.
Right.
Now, I am a big time dog mom, so I'm all about protecting your four-legged babies, your fur babies, because they are my babies. I also have the same opinion when I see somebody put a Facebook post out that, hey, I can't keep my dog because my new apartment won't let me. Can you take it? And I go, well, are you giving up your kid too? Because, that's an inconvenience too.
What level do you stop when it comes to the inconvenience?
Yeah.
I mean, the dog thing going into an apartment, is that the only one you could get? Could you find another location? What other options were there?
Right.
There's different things. If you go somewhere and you have a child, it's your responsibility to take care of it. If they have the desire and ability to spend a lot of money to take care of their dog because it has cancer, why would they not be willing to take care of their child?
Right.
Just because it may or may not, because at that point in time,
There's no guarantee.
It's not 100% certain. So why would you not be willing to
Well, and
actually...
what are you saying? That a child with Down syndrome isn't worthy of life? And just straight to abortion from, I don't want to be pregnant. I don't want to have a baby. Okay, so we started to talk about it, Charles. If you all of a sudden found out you were going to have a child, what would swallow? Yeah, it would be terrifying. But what would be your response to that? And what do you do to ensure you don't get put in that predicament? 1 second. I asked Charles. Speak into the mic.
Don't do it if you're like underage.
Yeah, don't do it if you're not ready. Yeah. Right? I mean, because there's consequences whether you are, there's protections, but do they work all the time? 100%? Guaranteed? No problems? No. I can,
how many things in life?
I can attest to no.
How many things in life are 100% guaranteed?
Death and taxes.
That's about it.
Leaving, eating.
No, there's no guarantee to that.
Where's the guarantee of that? I mean, if you have to, Julius, right now, if we were told now you're staying with us here for the summer, and if we turn around and said, hey, we can't afford to go out and buy food, we need you to go figure something out, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? How are you going to find food that's edible? I mean, there's 4 of us. There's Nana also, so there's 5 of us in the house. There's multiple dogs. There's a pair of cats. There's a lot going on. So if you were told that, hey, we don't have the ability to go get this, we're relying on you, what's your response?
I'm going home.
Food pantries.
You would try to find a way, right?
Oh,
You'd go on
I've-
Tebow trying to buy food.
I saw a lot of frogs over here.
Oh, frogs.
Frog legs. Free
So
frog
they'll be
legs.
eating
Frog legs.
Frog
legs.
legs.
There you go.
We also are like surrounded by like, farms.
Yeah.
Right, we are, and you know, Charles, you know, you sat there and you brought up something right off the bat: food pantries. There are things out there available. Well, it's the same when it comes to a child. You know, people who think that the only option is this aren't looking at the other options.
Yeah, there are organizations out there that are for the single mothers, that are for the people with unexpected pregnancies or unwanted pregnancies. There's adoption. There are other options available that you can use. I like how she's just Charles.
We're getting some also their mother is also over on the Facebook feed too. So we have multiple people watching tonight. So yeah.
Hi, Mom.
So Sarah is over on the Facebook
Sarah.
feed. Really? Really?
What's she gonna do?
She's about to come over here
Survive
with
over
Katie.
She's probably gonna send me a message on what to do. So
I like that. Don't answer. It's a
Highlighter.
trap.
exactly.
Yeah, Julius knows how to garden.
Yes, he does.
And
So-
you know, the thing is go ahead.
I was thinking when you said, "What? Go get food," something like that. I was thinking about the garden in your backyard. Just
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and even when it comes to having a unplanned child, an unplanned pregnancy, there are organizations, there are groups, there are people that would be willing to help those people out if they needed it. And there are so many organizations out there. And what is your thoughts, both of you, when you hear the words coming from Margaret Sanger that says weeds are a symbol of neglected, or I'm sorry, weeds are what they considered black people, and that they
Okay, there we go. It looks like it was going.
Is it working now?
All right, let's see. Okay.
There we go.
Can you tell me if the
All right,
audio
folks.
is back
Hopefully,
fixed?
hopefully we're back with the audio. Let us know. That way we're
So
get back.
most occur during the first 9 weeks. But what is your opinion on this whole argument that we should be allowed to have abortions all the way up until basically the baby is popping out crying?
I think that's dumb. I don't think abortion should be a thing. I don't think it should have ever been created.
Well, I agree with you because there are a couple people that actually go out and they say things like my mother went to go have an abortion and changed her mind, and I'm here because of it. One lady who is amazing, she's actually a really, really, really great speaker out there. She's a failed abortion.
Yeah.
And she talks about how her mother went and had an abortion, and it failed because apparently it was a while ago, and they weren't able to be successful. So they thought they got the baby, but they didn't. So the baby still lived, and the baby was born. And she is like in her 40s or 50s or something now, and she talks about how she's a failed abortion, and how would it make you feel if your mother told you, I thought about having an abortion, and then changed her mind and kept you anyway? Would you be upset that she thought about it and then happy that she decided you were worth saving? Or would you be, and I'm not saying that happened. I know none of that.
Wow, Mom.
I'm literally just making that.
Wow.
Because, I mean, many people do think about those things like, oh, I can't do this. I can't be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go take care of this. And I know I went through that. I'm going to be very vulnerable for a moment. I thought when I got pregnant at a young age, I was 17, that I should not have a baby. And your mom wants to know if you're too old to abort now.
Wow.
Wow.
That's one of the things I said just
wow.
recently when I was talking to Steve about this. I said, if you can abort a child because they're really inconvenient or they cost too much money, what's the age cutoff?
Yeah, where's that limit?
Is it
Where-
33?
where does-
Because I could cut Sam off right about now,
right
too.
about now, yeah.
Wait, he's Sarah's problem now. He's not my
That's-
problem anymore.
I'll get
Good
that,
point.
Mom.
Good point.
But when I went through that, I was 17. I was unmarried. I was engaged to get married, but I wasn't married. And I found out I was pregnant. I was terrified. It was scary as can be. I had all sorts of plans. I had my college plans. I had other plans. I had things that I was going to go do. And this was going to ruin those plans. And I did go to an abortion clinic with my girlfriend. And luckily, this was an abortion clinic that I wish they all functioned in this manner. The nurse came out. She gave me a pamphlet that I had to read about what happens, what actually happens in the abortion.
The process,
the
you're saying.
actual process, not the bullshit. They don't feel anything, and you don't know. No, they were much more honest. And then they took me back into a room, and my girlfriend again was still with me, and I had the pamphlets and they had a video for me to watch, and then they gave me a pair of headphones, and they hooked a thing to my belly and put the headphones on so I could hear the heartbeat. Now, I will say, I don't know if that's a recorded heartbeat of someone else's baby, because I don't know if mine was to the point of actually having a good heartbeat yet. But whether it was or wasn't, they came back into the room, all the papers were sitting there in the headphones, and I skedaddled out of there, because the minute you hear a heartbeat, I think you can have a totally different feeling at that very moment that I can't there's no way I could do this. No way.
Right. So real quick. So since we're on this topic, I'm going to put Charles deeply on the spot because Emma came in and said to Charles, imagine like we conceived and like we're young, right? Which would never happen because they're both honest that, they know that it's not smart to do at this age by all means. What would you do, say, in that situation? This is straight out from your
girlfriend.
Your girlfriend. So, the whole thing here is this is something that needs to have straight honesty because this is a very
well, it's a hard conversation because so many people live under
Try plugging your mic in harder. Something is just off with yours, and I don't know what's up.
It has been off the whole time. I don't know what's going on with my mic.
All right, it's better now that you're closer
Okay.
to it.
I think it's a hard conversation because really what your brain is hearing is, oh, we're talking about sex. And it's goofy
It's
and it's
beyond-
funny and
it's
I don't want to talk
beyond-
about that,
yeah.
but it's beyond that.
This is
that
beyond
part's
that part.
already happened. At that point, when you're talking about abortion, that part's already come and
that's
gone.
past. That's back.
So, with your girlfriend's question, oh, Emma put you on the spot. What your mom said. So, let's seriously look at it from a scenario that you guys are at school, you're going to classes, and Emma walks up to you and says, we need to talk. And at break or whatever time, lunch, cafeteria, whatever, and you go, okay, what's up? And she says, I'm pregnant. And you know that it's you guys, like, but, you did the deed. Even if it's one time, because there's so many people out there like, but we only did it once.
It doesn't matter.
It
does not matter.
No, it doesn't. So what would your immediate response be?
Wow.
Well, your mother's also saying, yeah, hello. Emma put you on the spot. That's the comment from your mom is Emma put you on the spot. So, people are wanting to know your honest opinion. Yes,
Yeah.
you. And speak into the mic so they can
How
hear you.
scared would you be, and would you live on the same feeling that you have right now that no, that's bad, we wouldn't do that, or would your mind go into the thought process of I would consider it, or would you absolutely never consider it no matter what?
I'm so lost right now. Last thing you said, like you would never consider. I don't know.
Abortion. If that was your scenario right then, what would you?
I feel like I wouldn't have an abortion, but like because we're too young, maybe adoption.
Okay, so your stance changes because is it because you're too? Get your hand away from your mouth. Nobody can hear you.
What are you saying?
So based on the fact that right now, if that were to happen, you would be maybe change your perspective on it. But isn't that baby still a baby? Isn't it still a life? So you would consider abortion. No. Oh no, you would not
I
consider
said adoption.
Adoption. Okay. Because you're too young. Now, granted, your grandma would probably adopt it, or your mom, somebody else would. But I like that you're like, I thought you said you would consider. So no matter what, that would not be part of your consideration.
Okay, so next question. This is kind of not really a question from your mom, but
a statement.
She said she had a statement. She said, "Step 1, tell mom."
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I tell you that communication and being honest and being open in this situation, I think, is the most important thing possible.
Well, I think that's a huge part of the conversation because so many people are afraid to talk to their parents about anything, drinking, their schoolwork, their relationships, sex, abortion, having protection if they're getting to that part where they are going beyond the hugging and kissing stage, and where you have conversations and you really honestly talk and make the child comfortable with a conversation with you, then the likelihood of you not having this scenario is much higher, because you already know the consequences. You think about it. You've talked about it. You've even had debates about it.
Yeah, you've had to research it. So you have more background probably than a lot of kids on what the stats are.
So there's a whole lot
Yeah.
more going into that. Fun for 5 minute thing can turn into a life of turmoil, or a life of regret, or a life of financial problems, or, there's all sorts of things that can happen from it. Now, there's people that thought this is the end of the world, and turned out it was the beginning of a new world, and they were super happy about it, and expressed that happiness. And your mom also says one more thing: Charles, you have a village that would help you, and Emma, no matter what the situation. Me and Sam would help you, and that is all. And you have other people that would too. Now, granted, that does not mean mom or Gam or dad or Papa, any of us are saying, yeah, go
No.
get
No.
that. No.
You want to
We're
be a
saying
grandma?
do not do that.
And your mom's answer to that was not anytime soon.
No, but when it happens,
But when
you
it
know
does,
you have an army
right?
behind you.
The whole thing is, though, I think a lot of kids, when they go through and there is a pregnancy that pops up, it's the scared, oh no, mom or dad are going to kill me.
Yeah.
I am in so
The
much
fear of telling
the
them
fear of telling
outweighs-
What do you think about that, Julius? What do you think? If something like that were to happen, would telling? What do you think would be the hardest part? Would it be telling parents, or would you go straight to the fact of they would never find out?
Put me on the spot.
What? Yeah.
Trust
Hey,
me, I've been
this
on the
is
spot.
this is one of those type of topics where it's an on the spot type of topic. Again, you two are not that far apart in age. All right? You are right behind your brother when it comes to age. So things that we're talking about that he is facing now are things that are not that far away for you in the near future. So thinking about it and having that in the back of your mind of, I remember talking about this, and
Well, and now you start high school, and there's always a large amount of peer pressure when it comes to sex in high school. Other boys telling other boys, you got to, man, you're not cool if you don't. You can't, you're not cool if you're a virgin. Honestly, I think nowadays, I hope that there's been a reversal of that, where it is much cooler to stay a virgin until marriage, because one, there's a lot of girls out there, and Emma is not one of them, so I appreciate that factor, but there are an awful lot of girls out there today in high schools and junior high that are hoochies, if you get what I'm saying. They dress slutty, they act it, and they don't have any self-esteem or morals about themselves, and generally speaking, those are not the girls that boys want to marry. And that's the girl you accidentally end up pregnant with if you don't watch your P's and Q's.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to maintain a celibate life until marriage? Is that your plan? Is that your goal? That's a great goal to have, and it's definitely got some accolades to it.
Well, and
Hear that, Emma?
and yes, Emma agrees, not for a while, which, you know,
at least till you put a ring on it.
there you go. The big thing is,
I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Okay.
Be right back.
yeah, exactly. So the big thing is everybody to realize that communication is so very important.
Yeah. Talking about it and having that comfort level of knowing you can talk to your mom or someone about that situation. I'm pretty sure you feel comfortable enough with Sam that you could talk to
He's
him if
mic
you
3,
need to.
so you got him on mute. There you go. There you go.
I don't know which is which here. But, you know, knowing that you have people that you can talk to about that, even when you get to a point where you're like, I'm kind of considering because we're getting older and we can get protection. We can do that. Having a conversation with the adults in the room as to how successful those protections can be or not be. And those are good conversations to have as you get older and as you go through this. Well, I don't know if anybody else knows what time it is. Do you know what time it is?
I have a feeling.
What time is it?
Let me hear that music.
It's time for lunch. It's time for Dear Margaret time. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it.
Dear Margaret's here, let's dive right in. Bring your questions, let's begin. Life's a real maze. We'll help you with your coping. Dealing with life in this rat race. Honest thoughts, no sugarcoating.
Tell us your tales, your woes, your gripes. No fluff, no bows, just real life type. Sign it clever, let your pen take flight. We'll serve the truth, sharp and bright.
Send us a query, take a lead. No hidden rules, no secrets to keep. Anonymous wisdom that cuts so deep. Dear Margaret's advice you'll want to reap. But in the end, let's admit, we all really don't care, Margaret.
Alrighty, so now we got Dear Margaret. I've got 5 questions that were submitted in advance, and we will all kind of take a stab at the answering these questions. So, Dear Margaret, I'm a single boy mom in Michigan, worried my 13-year-old son thinks abortion is only the girl's business, protecting my son in Detroit. What is anybody else have a feeling on that one?
Say again. We're all on mute.
Okay, you're not on mute.
Okay.
Did you?
I didn't
You couldn't even hear the question?
read it again. Go ahead.
Okay. Dear Margaret, I'm a single mom in Michigan, worried about my 13-year-old son. Who thinks abortion is only the girl's business, protecting my son in Detroit. What does anybody have an opinion on that one?
Either you two. I'll tell you right off the bat. Again, unless it was immaculate conception where there was nobody else involved in her getting pregnant, I'm sorry, both parties.
I think they should both
And
have
it's
a
not.
say.
And at that point, it's not just both parties. It's both families should have.
I think when it's teenage pregnancies, I think the conversation should not be let's go back to our scenario here, which hopefully we're going to avoid for a very, very long time. But let's say that was the scenario is you and Emma. I think the conversation needs to be you and your family and Emma and her family. And together they come up with a solution. And I think part of that solution, which let's just say if for some reason she's like, I want an abortion, I don't want anything to do with having a baby, I'm doing this. And you and your family are like, no, we don't want you to do that. You have the baby. We'll help you. And then when the baby's born, we'll take it. We'll take care of it. I have a small little story on that. So, and it is valid to that question. So I think you should validate your feelings. I think you should share that her body is his child too. Reality. Use simple talks and simple language. And a scenario that happened, and this is a true story. A young boy, I think he was 16, not entirely sure, but I think he was around 16 years old. He got pregnant with his girlfriend, and they were in high school, and she wanted to have an abortion, and he did not want her to have an abortion. He went to his parents. He talked to his parents. Her parents were backing her up on the abortion. His parents were backing him up on the abortion. And she had an appointment scheduled to go have an abortion. And his dad and mom went to the court and got an injunction, which means they got a judge to make an order that she could not do an abortion until they could have a hearing and have a family hearing. They had the family hearing. And at the family hearing, the judge said, you have to write a whole contract that she can incur zero of the cost. You will cover all medical expenses, all personal care expenses, clothing, everything that she needs throughout the pregnancy, pay for the birth, and then upon birth, give the child to him and his family, and they will raise it. She would agree to sign over custody to him and say she wanted no responsibility. There would never be the option for child support, and that they had to agree that they would never go after her for child support. Through this court case, they made the agreements. His family paid for all the expenses, paid for everything that she needed, including the hospital bills and everything else, thousands of dollars. And then the baby was born, and she's like, never mind, I want to keep it. And the courts did not enforce her part of the deal, nor did she ever have to pay back any of the money. But it goes to show how adamant she was about having the abortion. And then once she saw that child, she changed her feelings. So I think on many of these situations that if you were to say, let's listen to the heartbeat, you might change your feelings. Let's go through the process. Once you see the baby in the ultrasound, you have a difference of opinion. Wait. And if you really don't want it and we really can't do this once the baby's born, we can look out options of having an adoption. So anyway, that's the answer to that question. Next one is, Dear Margaret, as a boy grandma in North Carolina, I'm heartbroken that fathers have no rights. How do I teach my grandsons that fairness is something we need to strive for? Fairness seeker in Raleigh. Well, I have to say, I think it starts with conversations. Even as awkward as the conversations can be with your grandmother, that this is an awkward conversation. The awkward conversation with your mother, the awkward conversation with the fathers. Awkward conversations help you make less awkward decisions later. I think that's where I stand on it. What do you guys think?
I think that, as a grandparent, making sure that your grandchild has input is key. And you're right. There's like really no legal standpoint out there that unless you actually physically go to court in a civil case, there's nothing in there under any other type of law that's really going to support and give the father, absolute chance to talk and have say on it.
Exactly. The next, dear Margaret, is my 15-year-old grandson said that his girlfriend is pregnant and that she is getting an abortion. And he says, it's not my choice. I don't have any say. Concerned Nana in Arizona. I have to say that it may not be the same success and it may turn out backfire like that other scenario is. But if you're ever put in that situation, and I will tell you right now, Charles, Julius, I'll tell you right now, if you came to me and said my girlfriend's pregnant and she's getting an abortion and she's not going to let me, I guarantee you'd have a whole team behind you going to court to stop that from happening. Because a child's life, in my opinion, is still just as important as any other life. And again, like you said earlier, Julius, if it's double homicide, if a woman is pregnant and gets murdered and the baby dies, it's murder if she's not murdered. And she just does the murder. It's still murder. It's murder. It's murder.
Hey, real quick.
Man, no. I think we can skip to the next question. Let's skip to the next
So
question.
no, here's a question real quick. This is one that just popped in on
Who was it by?
chat. Once I start reading it, you'll probably understand. So Charles, since we're on the topic, since you're going to high school and you get super pressured to do, what would you do?
What?
Like you're getting bullied and stuff for not doing it. What would you do?
I say lie. I say you and Emma should come up with a lie. Just kidding.
Follow on to the question, would you ever go to another person if you did decide, and if Emma said no, since Emma's asking the question?
Ooh. Oh, so would you go around her because you're like, I want to get jiggy, but she don't want me to? That's what she's asking. Okay.
No.
You're like, I don't care that I want to. That's when the sock puppets come into play. Way to embarrass me,
You
Graham.
could say the real.
No, that's what it's called. That's the joke about it is the sock puppets.
Anyways, so there's obviously, I actually think this is perfect. Having Emma listening in and chiming in,
Giving her opinion.
with comments and stuff like that. And the same thing with your mom. Because your mom's been listening too, and this is a topic that should not be, oh, hush, you can't talk about some of this stuff. You need to go through there and you need to have conversations and need to be honest.
I do have to say, I think you have more chances of accidental pregnancies and abortions and fathers not having rights to say anything and women making these decisions when you don't talk about it.
Right.
When you do talk about these things and it's already brought up as a topic, it's already been discussed, it's something that you feel comfortable enough to say, you know what? I know all about abortion and babies and I mean for you, honestly, I think it's a great age that your mom and stepdad just had a brand new baby because you've been able to see what it's like having a baby and
in the house and how
2 a.m., 3 a.m. feedings and diapers and the whole, would you want to take that challenge on? Does that make it a lot easier for you to think, yeah, I'm just going to keep it wrapped up and put away? Mm-hmm. It being your manhood.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the baby.
no.
No, it makes it an easier decision to say, I don't want that yet. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not mature enough for that, and I'm 55. So at some point you have to realize that there's a time and a place, and when you're married, when you have a career and financially. I mean, I've done it the wrong direction. So if I can lead somebody to do it the right way, that I have made a good decision on, and I have helped guide the right way, because it is hard. It's not impossible, but it is hard to do. I think this is our last Dear Margaret question. Oh no, I have two more. I'm sorry. After learning about Margaret Sanger's human weeds quote, I'm shocked. What should we tell teens, truth seekers in Pennsylvania? I think it is extremely critical for them to know the statistics. I think it's really critical to know that there is a group of people out there that do think that certain people are substandard or undesirable. And it goes to the same thing with possible illnesses that the child could have, Down syndrome. There are ways of detecting certain things nowadays. They can even detect autism now somewhat. And you have cerebral palsy. Quite often that can be detected. But man, I think if you ever have let's just say the scenario is, we're in our young 20s and 30s, and you get pregnant and you're told by the doctor, like that couple, that there's a good chance that your child has Down syndrome. I think a great way to handle that situation before you make any decisions, well, one, I don't think abortion should be the answer anyway, but I think if you are under the mindset that, hey, I could have an abortion, I think you should go and join a group of people, because you can probably find them on Facebook, that are a Down syndrome group, and go meet some families that have Down syndrome children or cerebral palsy or whatever it is, and go meet with them, see them, and see how loving and joyous and wonderful they are regardless of what's wrong with them. Because you might be under the assumption that it's going to be harder than you think. And when you love something and you love someone hard enough, it's actually easier. It's not hard to make that decision when you have no connection and no feelings with that person. But once you do, I think you will have a difference of opinion. And anyway, that's my opinion on that. Do you have anybody have any comments on that?
No.
No? Okay. Steve, no? All right. Last one. You guys might have a
Wait, one
Hang on,
more.
has a question.
One more. Emma Graham dash
It's Graham.
Graham Cracker.
Okay, so last question is this one right here. Boy mom here in California, my son feels powerless about abortion. How can we change the conversation? Empowering my boy in Los Angeles. I think, it goes right back to the last one that we had. Focus on the cultural shift towards shared responsibility. Support both the parents and showing them value, and that there's value in every life. And I think having this conversation about abortion, even to the degree of, if you haven't seen it, go watch a video on what is done when you have an abortion. What is actually done, and listen to some of the women out there who come forward with their conversations about how they felt after and how they feel now after having had an abortion. And talk to some of the people who actually have lost a child before they got to have their child. Mm-hmm. And the women and fathers who cannot have a child, and how they feel about those situations, because boy, would they trade you spots any day to be able to have that baby that you are throwing in the trash can because it's an inconvenience.
Right.
You're not financially ready. But I was going to go to college. But, You know, there's a lot of buts that you can throw in there. There's a country song out there about how this was going to ruin his life and change his life. And then all of a sudden she's walking down the stairs with her teddy bear and her drawing is on the wall. And he was, the part of the song, the main part of the song is "There Goes My Life."
Yeah.
And then as she's coming down the stairs, it's "There Goes My Life." And as she's going off to college in her car, "There goes my life."
Again, exactly. that whole thing, you know, is you know, the inconvenience now that is their excuse if they did not eliminate the inconvenience will probably be the center of their life later on. And that's exactly where that song was leading. It's like, you know, initially it was the overwhelming of,
Oh my God, my life is over.
Yeah,
with.
how can I do this? I can't do this. You know, I'm just, you know, and then at the end it comes back to, yeah, wow, there's
This is my life.
This is my life. Exactly.
I love this baby. I love this child, my daughter, you know, whatever. And in that song, she's a little girl, but it is absolutely what you think could be the end of your life, then becomes the center of your life and the world to you.
Right.
And those get wrapped around your little fingers and you love them so much that you would give everything to have them safe and happy and healthy and thriving and all the things that go along with that. Anyway, that's our show today. I hope everybody enjoyed the conversation. Do you guys have anything to add to the conversation before we check out of here?
Emma had one question.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Oh, and one.
Put your microphone in front of your mouth when you're reading.
I hate you so much, Julius. You're a bum.
You're welcome, Charles.
Oh, that's all right. One of us would have hit it.
Oh, and one more question. Charles, what would you do if you found out I can't have children and you want children? What's your reaction or response? Would you find someone else?
We had an entire thing about this.
With that?
She's already never.
Okay, well, you had a conversation about it. So.
Yeah, you had it. So
not?
the whole thing is, I mean, do you realize the other options?
Yeah, adoption.
Yeah, I think that's a good point because that's two different sets of kids can be facing the same thing. One that has the inconvenience of a pregnancy and they're considering abortion, and another young couple out there is facing the answer from a doctor saying, "I'm sorry, you will never have children."
Right.
And what are their options? They can go out and seek out that young teenage couple who's not ready to have a child. And this is a great question, especially because you guys, your dad is my son, our son, but he's not your blood dad. Is he your dad? Do you feel like he's your dad? Same thing with Steve. Steve is not Sam's biological father, but he's his dad. I am not your biological grandma. I am your bonus grandma, but am I your grandma? Am I your gam?
One more question by
Yeah,
Emma.
I'll get the other one real quick. So this is the other one from Emma real quick. As Charles is having fits over there. Anyways, if me and Charles get a kid or did it or what have you, and decide to keep it, and found out that it has Down syndromes or autism, what's your response?
For us, for the adults.
Well, either if it's for me,
Just do both.
If it's for me, yeah, I think we should do both. As the grandparents, 100% support, and I'm sure Sarah and Sam would be the same exact way, 100% support. My brother has a child that has autism. Okay.
Oh, and
she
let
is.
me tell you,
She
Anaya
is absolutely
is amazing, and and she can fish like nobody's business. She is absolute fisherman.
She is
Fisher woman.
Yeah, so she is my brother's right hand.
And
there's no
it's
two ways
his
about
world.
it. Absolutely. And Anaya is Brian's world. There's no two ways about it. From your standpoint, Charles, I mean, and say it's not now. It's not at your age now. Say you're 20 years old or 25 years old. You've already started a career and you're well on your way.
You guys are ready to have your first baby.
And you find out that the baby possibly, again,
or even if they got to that point where it's a guarantee. We've gone medically to the point where we can tell you with a 99.9% accuracy, your child will have this situation. I think as grandparents, I would say that a team and a village together could do amazing, wonderful things where no matter what, a family that has to face that by themselves, it is much harder. Is it impossible? No. But there are also groups that if we're dead, your parents are dead, everybody's dead, there are groups that you can join and get involved with that have support that can help you with those things as well. And so for every person that gives a scenario out there that says this would be the answer to lead you to the abortion answer, there is a counter to that argument.
Right.
There are organizations and groups out there that are doing everything they can to ensure that abortion is not the solution to no matter what the question is. Right. And I think that's where I stand with that.
I agree.
Okay, so
I think with that,
today on Boy Talks, we explored honest conversations with our grandsons, Julius and Charles, the important perspectives of a boy mom and a boy grandma on the unfairness that is her body, her choice. I think that it's not just her body, her choice. I think it's also his child. It's his body, his choice too, because when we're talking about her body, her choice, and his body, his choice, I think we're talking about the baby inside, because a part of the body inside is part his and part hers. And since they can't have a say, I think you have to advocate for that child, and anything else is absolutely murder. Margaret Sanger's Eugenics History on Considering Them Human Weeds, and her philosophy and her powerful statistics, if you look at them on the number of people who have had abortions, those are 1 million babies a year that could have become doctors and lawyers and firefighters and in the military and astronauts or the president of the United States. They could have become anything, but yet we will stand around with signs saying George Floyd, what could he have been? He was a crackhead. Let's get that clear. He wasn't a baby that could have turned into something. He was a grown man that made bad decisions, and that's who we're fighting for. And that's not who we should be fighting for. We should be fighting for the unborn and having a right to life. I think that is way more important. Anyway, thank you for watching. We really appreciate you being here. Please like, subscribe, and join our channel. And the boys will be here with us for the summer. I'm sorry if they fiddle and make noise. Get over it. I won't. I'm just kidding. But we love you. Thank you for being here. And the love goes out to our family that we know. I don't particularly like when YouTubers say I love you to their viewers that they don't know. But I like you. And thanks for watching.
Exactly.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching GurlTauX live broadcast, which airs weekdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget to send in your Dear Margaret questions. Then night.